Let me show you how to have the best start at No Man's Sky Endurance from a fresh save. We're going to upgrade all of our backpack slots. I'm going to show you how you can easily find your very own S-Class ship. This is only one that I found. Ended up finding multiple. I even got myself a really cool blue and yellow solar ship that matches my colors. Hell yeah. I'll show you where you can get a cheddar maker of your very own. That thing is totally win. I'll show you how you can always get a guaranteed S-Class freighter when it's time to do your battle, as well as make billions of units and tens of thousands of nanites. One thing this guide won't do though is spoil any storyline. Enjoy. This playthrough will be in normal mode, although all the tips I'm going to share with you will work in survival or permadeath. Once you begin initialization on your fresh save, you are going to be placed on some random planet or moon. The atmosphere outside is going to be very hostile to you. One of the leading causes of death to new players in No Man's Sky is they just don't know the game yet. Now, No Man's Sky does an amazing job holding your hand and teaching you later, but when you start out with your very fresh save, you need to find sodium or a cave. Chances are, if you don't, you're going to be dead meat. So don't be that traveler who starts panicking and ends up getting himself killed. Just look for some yellow plants or an indentation in the ground that looks like a cave, like that one right ahead of us right there. Now in just a few moments, we're going to stop spinning around. This is what happens every single time you do a fresh save. The direction that you're facing once you stop spinning around is going to be the direction of your crashed ship. Here we go, we're just about to stop spinning around. I now have control of my tune, so I feel like I might as well just kind of wander in the direction of where my ship will be. Notice my hazard protection right now. Yeah, No Man's Sky doesn't start you out with very much hazard protection, so you most definitely need to find some sodium as soon as possible. These blue deuterium plants are really awesome. They give you an unlimited supply of jetpack boost for a short period of time. I can boost around all over the place if I feel like it. Oh, that wasn't a cave after all. I thought it might be a cave, and it definitely wasn't. There we go. I see some sodium off in the distance. Might be next to that cave there. Let's grab this blue deuterium plant and head over there and grab it. Quickly pressing your melee attack and then holding down the jetpack booster button will cause you to do that really cool jump that I just did. Hell yeah, okay, we got all of our sodium sorted for now. Of course that isn't a cave, looks like a cave. Stop trying to trick me, No Man's Sky. Might as well get some oxygen now. And just like any other guy, I'm going to be using the in and out method to gain all the oxygen off these plants. You make sure they explode really fast, run in there, grab those oxygen sacks as fast as you can before they blow up and cover you with a whole bunch of noxious gas. After you have mooched all their oxygen sacks with the in and out method, feel free to buck them down with extreme prejudice. They'll end up giving you even more oxygen. Yeah, my hazard protection's starting to get a little bit low. I'm going to go ahead and recharge it by putting all my sodium in there. Well, goodbye, sodium. One thing that'll help you find elements faster is getting your scanner fixed, so I am going to mine up some ferrite dust as well as some carbon. Carbon is what you're going to use to recharge your mining laser. The ferrite dust itself is what we're going to be using to repair our scanner. If you notice while I'm mining up these elements here, I'm trying to keep my mining laser in either the red or the yellow. This is going to help you mine much faster as it does much more damage to what you're trying to mine. Whenever your laser gets far too hot, like it's about to overheat right there, you just let go of the button and then immediately press it back down again. Your main goal is to not let it overheat because then you got to go through a bunch of drama of your mining laser cooling down. And ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I guess I just overheated my laser in front of God and everybody. So we might as well just get this scanner fixed to have plenty of ferrite dust. Now we're going to be able to find elements really easy. Pressing your scan button will send out a pulse, and every single element will have a little icon above it telling you exactly what it is. See how easy it is to find elements now? Yoink. Whenever you find a patch of these blue dihydrogen crystals, mine them up. They're used to make rocket fuel as well as other very important building schematics. Many important early recipes will require you to use dihydrogen jellies, which you can make from these dihydrogen crystals, so mine them all up whenever you see them. The other thing you'll want to do as soon as you possibly can is install an analysis visor onto your multi-tool. It's only going to cost you 1 nanotube in order to create it. It only costs 50 carbon to make 1 nanotube, so get this daggone analysis visor installed on your multi-tool as soon as you possibly can. After running around the planet's surface like a chicken with his head cut off, the game actually feels pity on you and shows you where your crashed ship is actually located. It's that red icon on the screen right there. Once you have arrived at the crash ship location, there is always going to be a patch of 4 oxygen just for you, traveler, so you can bank on that. Every single time you come across one of these damaged machineries, do yourself a favor and look inside of it. You can do that by sometimes taking the poop out of there, but you always get a really cool reward. Most of the time you're going to get nanites. As you're exploring planetary surfaces, you're going to come across these yellow, red, and green crates, as well as these cylinder crates. You can loot all of these, although the cylinder crate will require you to have a level 1 Atlas pass. Don't worry, I'll show you how to get the pass later. Attention traveler, anytime you see me interacting with an item that has this red icon, it is almost always going to contain storyline, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. Once you have been exposed to your very first taste of the No Man's Sky storyline, it's going to ask you to get back into your crashed ship. Yep, you guessed it. Exposed to your second instance of the storyline. In a nutshell, you need to get your launch thrusters as well as your pulse engine totally fixed so you can lift off this planet. In order to do that, we're going to have to make ourselves a dihydrogen jelly as well as a metal plating. We're going to have to turn some ferrite dust into pure ferrite. Then we need to find some mythical item we don't even know how to make yet. Basically, your radiant pillar is a big giant space turd right now. The struggles. Once I have found either a ship or a cave, what I like to do is scan absolutely everything around me, all the plants, the minerals, and the animals with my analysis visor. Every single item that you catalog using the analysis visor will give you nanites once you upload them. I'll show you that later. The most powerful benefit though is you have the ability to mine secondary elements from these resources. Until you scan a plant or mineral, you will not be able to pick up or loot the secondary element. It will always be unidentified. The main reason why I wait until I find either a cave or my ship, well, I'm standing around out here in the elements and eventually it's going to tick all the way down to 0. I'm going to have to waste sodium. It's just easier to hop inside the cave or inside your ship in order to refresh it for absolutely nothing. Sometimes the secondary element will be crap, however, I'm getting sodium as a secondary element, so that's awesome. I definitely got my scanning on, farmed up a half decent amount of carbon and a little bit of ferrite dust. It's now time to make a metal plating so we can make ourselves a portable refiner. You will most definitely be using this portable refiner quite a bit. All you need to add is a little bit of carbon to fuel it up. Now you can actually convert some elements into other elements. Remember earlier when I said I needed to have some pure ferrite? Well, you can create that from ferrite dust inside the portable refiner. Now I guess I could stand out here and pick my nose and wait for it to get done. Might as well just hop into my ship. Now this doesn't really show you any storyline, it just lets you know the mythical item you need to find is the hermetic seal. So we're going to start that here in just a second. I let my hazard protection charge all the way up for free. Let's hop back over here to the portable refiner, grab that pure ferrite, and get those launch thrusters fully repaired. Ironically, no spoilers here at this part. In order to complete the hermetic seal quest, you're going to have to get a planetary chart by interacting with the red globe there. Now all you have to do is open up your general inventory section and then plot the course. It will actually show you the location of where you need to get the hermetic seal. You can also get it from any other building if you see one that's closer. Every time you go to get the seal, there will always be a storm, so make sure you have enough sodium. Oh hell yeah, looks like we found our first cave while I'm out here mooching around for sodium. I'm going to be going down in here and mining absolutely everything in this place out of greed. I mean, you know, not out of greed. Well, maybe a tiny bit of greediness, but this cave marrow here can actually be converted into sodium via your portable refiner. First, I'll convert this rusted metal we got from that green box into ferrite dust, and then we're going to come over here and mine these plants. Some of them will give you sodium, and some of them will actually give you oxygen, so it's a great place to farm. All the while not having to worry about your hazard protection going down because you're in a totally safe environment, you know, besides these evil plants. This is basically the letting the greed flow through us. First we need to scan this cobalt here, then we're going to mine it up out of greed. Before the complete and total farming smackdown, let me grab all the ferrite dust out of here, throw the marrow bulb in there, and get this sodium going. Early game, you really just can't have too much sodium. The humble beginnings of a future space bajillionaire. I'm going to be turning all this cobalt into a whole bunch of money later, you know, out of greed. The other thing you might run across when you're inside of a cave are these humming sacks, or something that is called a vortex cube. Always loot them up. They're going to be worth a little bit of money. As long as you have the bag space, it's definitely worth it, because, you know, free money is always good. While mining up all this cobalt here in the cave, you'll notice that you'll start stacking up on some geodes. All you have to do is click on those and you'll get either cobalt or you'll get ionized cobalt. Keep both of those elements. This nitrogen and ammonia, on the other hand, early game you don't really need that stuff. We can use the ammonia later, but right now we're just going to get rid of it. We will keep the salt, however, because we're going to make a bunch of money with that too. We have arrived at the location where you can pick up the hermetic seal. Now there is some storyline here, so we're just going to skip to the end where you get the seal. There you go. Congratulations. Now if you don't find a cave on the way to this location, you'll always find one near this building, so yeah. Of course I went to the cave to mine up some more cobalt. I mean, you only need a little bit, but still, you know, I'm greedy. Oh, check this out. See, there's an item I haven't even found yet to scan. So awesome. I'm gonna scan it. So what's the secondary element? Oh, hell yeah, it's sodium. Can never have too much sodium. And the other thing I love about mining in caves is you can actually farm up carbon as well as ferrite dust in here without having to worry about your hazard protection going down. I am most definitely a firm believer in farming up everything that I need early and then letting all my money talk later so I don't have to do this anymore. The more you farm and run into bag space issues, the more you're going to be reminded that you can just move your technology over to the technology section and free up some extra bag space. Like, you know, could have done this earlier, it would have really helped. And while we're at it, I might as well install the oxygen recycler. It's the only piece of technology you know how to build right out of the game. Yeah, it's going to give me a little bit of oxygen tanks and I'll take it. Now I'm just going to kind of organize my bag and, you know, I don't know why I'm showing you this because, you know, organizing your bag is stupid. You just throw all your crap in it. And as you're playing the game and looting things, you're going to run across the slime stuff. Like, you can keep converting it down and converting it down over and over. And eventually you're going to finally get to runaway mold and then, you know, you can turn it into nanites. But really, it's the biggest waste of time because you hardly get anything for the time invested of refining it all, so screw it. The other reason why I love caves is you have access to cobalt. Ferrite dust is super easy to find. Now you can make ion batteries, which is free hazard protection. You're not going to have to waste your daggone sodium on that anymore. While I'm at it, I might as well make some life support gels. They only take some dihydrogen jellies and a little bit of carbon. Might as well make about 10 of these. That should be plenty for the rest of this playthrough, although, you know, probably buy some later when I find them for sale. The mining smackdown is complete. We are back at our ship. Now all we have to do is get this hermetic seal plugged into the pulse engine. We'll get it all sorted. We'll be able to take off here in just a little bit. Before we head out, let's make some more launch fuel. It's only going to cost us some dihydrogen as well as some metal platings. We can whip that up really quick. I'll probably make enough for us to get through this entire playthrough without having to make more, so probably only going to need about 5 maybe. If we need more, you know, can make it later. Not too worried about it. Yeah, I just, you know, cleared out my general inventory in my bag into my ship. Now I'm running into problems with ship inventory, so, you know, might as well move all this technology over to the technology section so I can have 4 more spaces. Before we head out, let me show you the farm I have on my ship as well as inside my exosuit. Yep, we're doing pretty good for ourselves. Now it's time to make like a tree and leave. Let's get the heck on out of here. Just gonna fly straight up and go directly into space. We're not gonna worry about looking for anything else on this planet for now. We just need to complete a little mini quest up here. Once you get into orbit, No Man's Sky will prompt you to do 3 simple tasks inside your ship. But, you know, instead of doing that, I'm gonna get myself into third-person mode here so that I might watch the Radiant Pillar in all of its glory, smiting down everything I tell it to smite. Yeah, changed my mind. The Radiant Pillar isn't all that glorious. I'll wait until I get a much better ship so I can watch myself smiting down a whole bunch of bad things, like these asteroids here. Now, we'll be farming these asteroids for about 10 to 15 minutes. Mostly we're going to need tritium, which is our fuel to fly around in space in our ship. The other thing we'll need is gold as well as silver. We're going to need that a little bit later when we start building things. Just about done here. Now, see all those lines in space that are connecting down to planets? Every single one of those will go to a trading post, and all the lines that connect in space will actually go to the space station itself. The other way to easily find your space station is to look for the diamond shape on your radar. Let's engage our pulse engine so we can head over to the space station. Now that's going to complete the 3 tasks we needed to do in order to, you know, complete the tasks, I guess. What's going to happen here in just a second is we're going to get a phone call. We're going to need to answer that. course I'm going to have to skip it because it includes storyline. I'm going to keep plowing ahead to the space station. I'm just going to skip the very beginning part of the Awakenings questline. Basically, it's about getting your warp cells together so you can, go anywhere. It's just I have important business to do on the space station, which is getting other elements sorted, making a little bit of space bumps, out of green. One of the first things you want to do is hit up a trading terminal, hit the sell tab, and then just sell all this crap that you don't need in your bag anymore. It just takes up space. Might as well make a little bit of space cheddar while we're at it. Let's hop over to the Starship inventory and sell all the crap in there too. I don't think I have very much, but whatever I have, I'm going to get rid of it. Probably that Gravitino ball I found I didn't show you. I think I had some nitrogen, there it is, left in my bag. We're going to get rid of that crap too. We don't really need it early game, so any little bit of extra money is helpful. Seeing as how we're practically broke as a joke, I think I can part with about 108 of this ionized cobalt. Now we will be using some of this later in the video to make money, but right now I'm broke as hell, so I can use all the money I can get to buy extra things. If you're lucky enough to find a terminal that has chromatic metal on it, go ahead and buy that up right now. You're going to need that for your base command unit in a little bit. While you're at it, if you want, because they're so cheap, you might as well just stock up on a few extra ion batteries. Never hurts to have extra hazard protection when you need it. The other thing you're going to be doing an awful lot in the No Man's Sky Endurance update is buying tons of oxygen. And while we're at it, we might as well snag up some life support gels as well, because dying sucks. After you get all that sorted, head over to the exosuit upgrade station and grab yourself an extra bag slot. Now you can grab either a general, a technology, or cargo slot. I think I'm just going to go with general for now. After you get your bag upgraded, you can talk to this NPC over here if you have any nanites you'd like to burn on technology upgrades. Like right now I don't really have enough nanites, but I did find myself a little A-class shield upgrade module from a piece of damaged machinery, so I might as well just sell it for nanites. Now, if you want to get some extra nanites, just head over to the planet that you just scanned under the Discoveries tab and then upload everything that you scanned. Every single thing that you upload will give you nanites. Once you upload all the flora, you can then work on uploading all the minerals. After that, you can hit up the fauna tab and upload all the animals. And if you're like me, I like to spend a little bit of time on that first planet to guarantee that I'm going to find all the animals so I can get a whole bunch of bonus nanites. One thing I did notice about the No Man's Sky Endurance update during this playthrough, it is so much easier to find all the fun on these planets, almost guaranteeing that you're going to get the bonus nanites. Now you can change the names of the minerals, plants, and animals if you like. I'm going to change the name of this system to Gregorland. Now that we have some nanites to burn, let's check and see if this NPC has any decent S-Class modules, and of course he doesn't, besides a thermal protection and stupid underwater breathing things. Not going to worry about it. On our way to checking the gun cabinet, I found one of these little globes. Now they're going to be either orange or blue. Always loot those. They'll give you either nanites or navigational data. Now I like to check this gun case. I can already tell the gun's a big piece of crap just because of how small it is. Well, it is an A-class, but yeah, we're not going to bother buying that thing. Heading into the back room, we're going to find a big grouping of NPCs. We'll also find another trade terminal here. The NPC that's always in the center there, you can try to get quests from. They'll even give you minerals. Bikeen will give you new multi-tools. It is most definitely worth doing these little mini quests when you're a brand new player fresh off the boat. Later down the line, it's not going to matter so much, but these guys will hook you up if you give them the chance. As long as you answer their question right, which makes it a little difficult in the beginning because, you can't understand their language, so you're kind of just guessing. He ended up giving me a whole bunch of nanites, so that's totally glorious. The last thing you're going to need before you leave the space station is to purchase 5 microprocessors. Now, I already purchased 3 at the other terminal and, forgot that I needed 5 until now, so I'm going to purchase these 2. Now we're good to go. Once you have everything sorted, it is now time to hop back into your ship, get the heck on out of here, and finish up that Awakenings quest. Once you arrive on location, land right next to the signal source. Now there is a better way to find what we're looking for. I'll show you that on the next step. So the long, convoluted way to find what you're looking for is to hop out of your ship, open up your scanner, and it will tell you the direction that you need to go. Keep running, or in my case flying, in the direction that my scanner keeps telling me to go until you find exactly what you're looking for, which is another one of these red symbols. And you guessed it, there's going to be a little bit of storyline, so I'm just going to skip to the end. After you extract the plans, you will get a blueprint to create your very own base computer, as well as the terrain manipulator, which is very handy. Let's get this terrain manipulator installed on our multi-tool. Now, it's only going to cost us a couple nanotubes and a hydrogen jelly to get it sorted out. Now we can actually dig underground, which is totally win. Now, the one thing that you can always be guaranteed to find underground near a piece of damaged machinery is buried technology, which you will need to upgrade the base we're just about to build here in just a little bit. To use it, you just need to switch modes to the terrain manipulation mode, then you can start digging a big giant hole in the ground. Now there you go, I found the buried technology module. That can be also turned into nanites or sold for money if you want, but we're going to use it for our base quest. Seeing as how I am far too lazy to run all the way back to my ship, you can actually summon it to you as long as you have fuel available to do so. So yeah, saved me a little bit of time. Fat cells don't want to complain too much because, you know, they'll get mad if they start going away. Next on the agenda is to find an actual place we want to build our base near, and I always like to build near either a miner settlement or a trading post. You can pretty much build anywhere you want to. I just like to build near a trading terminal, especially somewhere where I can actually sell stuff like a trading post. I'm not going to count my chickens too fast. I mean, I am hopeful this is a trading post, and why, looky there, it is a trading post. I am literally the luckiest traveler in the freaking universe right now. Generally want to land in the green ring, however I guess I suck at landing and missed it. Placing your base computer will actually give you access to the next part of the quest, which is getting the actual blueprints to build your base, so yeah, that's pretty handy. Building your base computer does take chromatic metals, so if you don't have any right now, you can actually go mine a copper deposit. Copper can be turned into chromatic metal. Or if you want, you can actually salvage the rockets in your ship, but that also gives you chromatic metal. Once you locate the copper deposit, that is if you need it at all, you want to make sure that you're mining with the smallest bubble. Now, in order to change the bubble size on your terrain manipulator, you can press R on keyboard to make it the smallest size possible, or T to enlarge the size of the bubble. Now you want to mine with the smallest bubble because you actually do get more resources. Mining with the big bubble is far faster, it uses less fuel, but you get less resources. There we go, mined up a whole bunch of copper for posterity, even though I don't need it, but you guys might, so who knows, I did it anyway. Head back over to your base computer and interact with it. It's going to want you to claim this base location. Mostly, No Man's Sky wants to make sure that there are no other travelers that have built near you in this area. If they have, this actual base claim check will fail and you won't be able to build near here. However, you're hardly ever going to run into any other player randomly while you're doing this early game, so yeah, it's probably going to succeed. Interacting with your base computer again will give you all the building parts you need to build your base. So yeah, let's get this shindig on the road. The instant that you place your very first base part, you're going to be informed by the game that there is a storm incoming. And this storm's job is to totally kick your butt while you're trying to build your base. So make sure you have plenty of carbon to complete this base, or at least a place to hide in when the storm really hits. I'm not really going to try to build some gigantic mansion out of wood. Mostly I just need a nice little small base that I can stick a portal in. I'm going to be able to put some refineries in here later once I get to the anomaly. I just need something small to get me by. There we go, I'm now protected by the elements. Now I just need to slap on a few doors and we're good to go. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough pure ferrite to make that door, so I gotta come out here and grab my portable refiner. Might as well grab the chromatic metal that I made from that copper earlier. Now we can come in here in the safety of not getting our butts kicked by the elements and make that pure ferrite after we get the portable refiner placed down in the comforts of our own home. Yeah, basically I like it, even though it's, basically plain. It's a guy cave. We don't need anything to keep us happy, just a computer to play games on. Maybe a lady here and there. I don't know where I'm going with this. After your base is built, interact with the base computer again and you'll get the construction research unit. This is going to help us build our base. In order to build that, you are going to need a little bit of magnetized ferrite, which can be created from pure ferrite inside of your portable refiner. After that, you only need to create one nanotube and you're good to go. You'll be able to place it. Then after that, you get to discover the joys of farming for buried technology modules. Go into analysis mode with your scanner. You'll easily find buried technology everywhere. Once you get there, it's just about digging it up. Bada boom, bada bing. There we go. Took no time to do that. Now let's find another one. There's one right there. Let's head over to it. Alright, so I've been farming these buried technology modules for about 20 minutes. I've been scanning all the daggone animals that I can find, and once again I found all the animals on the planet, so I'm gonna get a whole bunch of bonus nanites. Yep, Not gonna complain about that too much. I'm serious, I've played No Man's Sky pretty much every single update for years now, and I've never found the fauna so easy as I have before in the Endurance update. Head back to the construction unit. You will want to research buildable technology so you can spend that salvage data that you just went and farmed up. Definitely going to want to get the base teleporter module. After that, you will want to get the biofuel reactor. You can get the electrical wiring for free, which is nice. You will most definitely want to grab the battery, and after that, you will want to grab the solar panel, even though it's really expensive. Grab yourself the save beacon. It is actually a manual save location, which is totally cool. And then grab the signal booster as well. You won't need to build the health or the hazard station right now. It requires a special building to be powered. Let's get our base teleport module all set into place. This is really going to help us go to locations as well as come back to our base quickly. Next, we can place our biofuel reactor. This actually turns carbon into an energy source, powering your equipment. After that, you need to place a battery so you can actually store the power that you create. We're actually going to add even more power into this by starting to create some solar panels here in just a second. If you want to do some of the wiring now before you get these solar panels placed, make sure that you wire the biofuel reactor to your battery and then your battery to the actual teleporter itself. Now hop up to the top of your base and build 3 solar panels. You're going to wire them all together, and after you wire them all together, you can either plug them into your biofuel reactor or plug them into your battery. In order to keep your wires from mucking up everything around your base, you can actually place them kind of in the ground or wherever you want to, and then just build off that connection again. That way it kind of looks better. Definitely don't plug it into your teleporter, or your portal will only work during the daytime, and that's kind of dumb. Perfect, we have everything set into place. We are now ready to complete this part of the quest, which is basically just loading up this biofuel reactor with some carbon. After we do that, everything is going to power up since, it's dark right now and there's no sun up, but there we go, we've completed our quest. After you get your base powered up, head to the space station. You're going to be asked to talk to a whole bunch of aliens about 16. That's kind of part of the storyline. Don't talk to any of the NPCs that are in the booths on either side of here, because once you talk about 16, you'll never be able to talk to them again. Once you find out about 16, you'll be directed to head back to your base, so you get to finally use the base teleporter for the very first time. So much faster than flying. Once you are back, head outside, talk to your base command unit, and it's going to give you the next leg of your journey, which, it's going to help us get warp cells. We're finally going to be self-sufficient pretty soon. Now, we need to investigate this possible distress signal. Now, you could do the long, convoluted process of landing by the signal beacon, then trying to track down what it's trying to get you to find. Why do the stuff the words are trying to tell you stuff about when you can just do it? So the faster way to go about things is just look for, in our case, a crashed freighter at this stage, or any building that's close to the quest marker. That's where it's going to want you to go. You can just land at the green little thing so you can take off for free. Now just interact with the quest piece, and when you get done with that, you're going to be able to create a hyperdrive. And since we are a smart traveler, we made sure to get 5 of those microprocessors and have plenty of chromatic metal on hand, so we could just build it right now and not have to fool with tracking anything down later. Before we head out of here so we can track down how to make antimatter, let me show you how to farm these cargo pods. Now, honestly, they kind of suck. You don't get very much from them other than nanites and a few other things. You can open up every single one of these pods by just putting a little bit of ferrite dust inside of it. Now, the second you get your reward, you need to get the hell out of there, because you are going to get hit with a huge dose of radiation, and if you're too close, it's going to kick your butt. After you have your hyperdrive installed, it's going to ask you to tune your scanner to find antimatter. You can't do that from the planet's surface, so you're going to have to actually take off, go up into space, and then scan there. Once you have the marker for the antimatter trace, head in that direction. Here we are at the abandoned building. This is where we actually get the antimatter blueprint. Now, this place is totally infested by a whole bunch of man-eating creatures. Those egg sacs right in front of us are worth either a whole bunch of money or a bunch of nanites. They're not easily farmed unless you dig a hole underground. Now, as soon as you touch one of those eggs, a whole bunch of monsters are going to spawn and totally try to wreck your day. The best way to avoid that is just to build a slightly sloping downward angle where the eggs will roll down to you, because those monsters won't go underground. I mean, they do sometimes, but not really. I have all my egg tunnels all laid into place. Now I'm just going to come over here, interact with the abandoned terminal. Of course, I'm going to throw away the slime, and I'm going to get my antimatter blueprint. Yep, we're definitely starting to make progress here. Definitely starting to make progress. Let's quickly make an antimatter. Also have to make an antimatter housing. Then after that, we can create our very first warp cell, which will complete this section of the quest. After that, we'll be asked to fuel our hyperdrive. You can just stuff your warp cell right in there. Now you're good to go. It's now time to do the white knuckle ride that is farming these whisperling eggs. Like I said, as soon as you mess with those eggs, all these monsters will spawn. You're kind of mostly safe in this hole. I mean, like, he's not going to really kill you, I hope. Ultimately, we're just going to shoot these egg sacs. They'll turn into larval cores. They'll roll down to you. You just scarf them up, and all those monsters will pretty much stay above ground and not screw with you. Once you have farmed all these egg sacs in this pit, you're going to need to head over to the next one. This is where it gets a little bit dangerous. Just immediately hop out, jetpack, and get your butt right in that hole as fast as you can, because they will kick your face in. Now, this entire building is surrounded by these whisperling egg sacs all over the place, so I have many tunnels, although I'm only going to show you 2. Once you are done collecting all those eggs, you are going to be faced with a decision. Now, you can either save them and sell them later, or you can actually convert them into nanites. I'm going to convert at least 1 stack into nanites to show you get 250 per stack, but I'm basically going to go ahead and keep the rest of these since I found so many animals on 2 planets. I have tons of nanites right now, so I'm just going to sell them. After you've finished up fooling with those eggs and getting your antimatter blueprint, it will be time to do your very first warp jump. Seeing as how I started in a Korvax system, I'll likely either pick a Viking or a Gex system to warp to. There we go. That system should do nicely. As soon as you arrive in system, the very first thing you're going to want to do is head over to that space station and land there. Every time you land at a brand new station during your early stages of gameplay, you'll have the opportunity to upgrade one of your exosuit slots. I think this time I'll upgrade a cargo slot. I said slot. Next, I'm going to check this NPC since I have a whole bunch of nanites to burn to see if they have any good upgrade modules, and it looks like they have a movement as well as a shield. Hell yeah, this is a total score. Needless to say, yeah, I'll be buying those upgrades right now. Time to hit up the trading terminal once again to free up some bag space as well as make a little bit of extra space cheddar. Like I said, I was going to sell the larval cores for money since I already had a whole bunch of nanites. Might regret that later, but who knows. I'm also going to sell a bone and some other weird things I found at a burial site. I didn't show this in the video because you can't really count on finding those burial sites all the time. Now I know I had some more larval cores on my exosuit inventory. There they are. Let's get rid of those as well. Serious words of wisdom here. Every single time you can buy oxygen, just buy it. You can never have too much sodium. Definitely going to scarf up this ferrite dust too. You're going to use this quite a bit early game. Once you've wrapped up all your business on the space station, you'll be directed to try to find the fuel source. Of course, it's going to be the building that's right next to the icon, so don't land by the icon and then have to run all the way there like a total and complete skinny person. Be fat, land by the building. Click on these cylinders to learn words. There'll be 3 different cylinders here to teach you the words, and just like G.I. Joe says, knowing is half the battle. If you give the right answer to the question, well, you'll get a warp cell. If you screw up, reload your autosave. Time to warp again. This will be the very last warp jump we're going to have to complete before we get to the space anomaly, which is totally glorious. And since I went to a Gex system last time, I think I'll go to a Viking this one. If you put all your money on land on the space station then upgrade your back slot, well, congratulations. This time I think I'll go with a technology slot upgrade. Gotta love Viking systems. Every single one of them will have these nanite machines in the back room, one on this side and one on the other. Let's hit up this terminal and start doing business. I'm gonna snag up this ferrite dust here. Of course we're gonna buy the oxygen. I buy all the oxygen. And you can never have too much sodium. Oh yeah, I totally forgot that I bought some S-Class upgrades a little while ago. Let's get those installed into my technology area. I hope, as long as I have the room anyway. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a little shuffling around here. You want to put technology that's basically exactly the same like that movement. You want to be right next to the other movement module. That way you'll get an even bigger bonus. Women keep telling me that bigger is better. I don't know what they mean by that. But, if I'm gonna get a bigger bonus, might as well go ahead and get that bigger bonus. You know what I'm talking about? Guess I'll just, stick the shield on there. Whatever. My mom and dad always told me never talk to strangers. Again, be that inner fat guy and land by the crashed ship. Let's hope at least it's a good one. No, crap, it's a C-class, oh well. First things first, let's interact with the quest globe. You'll have to put a little bit of materials in here to open it up, but that's all good, it doesn't cost all that much. And when you're done, you're going to be rewarded with a piece of technology. I got the advanced mining laser, that is totally awesome. Head over to your new spaceship, click on it, you're going to discover that it's a big giant space turd just like your other ship was when you first started out, although it has a whole bunch of damaged compartments. Even though it's a giant space turd sandwich, just claim the ship. All I had to do was repair the launch thrusters and the pulse engine. I'm going to fly this up to the space station and scrap it. Looks like I got a phone call. A dude named Nada wants to talk. Congratulations, at this point of the game you can now go to the anomaly. Of course, it's greed before need. We're going to scrap the ship first. Now, this is how you're going to make a little bit of money. See, I can make 1,180,000 off that ship that I just found for nothing. That's totally cool. The other thing you'll get from scrapping these ships are modules that you can just run over here to that NPC right there and sell them all to him and make some nanites. Totally awesome as well. Needless to say, I love scrapping ships to earn nanites. This is the method that I highlight in this best start on how to make the most nanites possible. After you scrap the ship, it's not like the game gives you, all the money that it says it's going to give you. It's going to give you a bunch of scrap items that you need to sell to these little ship guys. First things first, I'm going to buy some oxygen. You'll figure out why here in a little bit. Now that I grabbed up all the oxygen he had, I'm going to sell these scrappy bits, including this activated emerald. That also came from the ship scrapping and all these other, I don't know what the hell they are. It's just a bunch of crap that you can sell in order to make money. Good. Let the accomplishment of getting to the anomaly flow through you, as well as the lag as you try to enter the space anomaly, which isn't good. It actually sucks. Don't screw the pooch like I did and talk to Helios and Ares before you talk to Nada, because if you do and you cash in your information that they're looking for, you won't be able to do that until later after you discover some more planetary discoveries, so yeah, don't do it. I think Helios only hooked me up with 75 nanites. Ares, on the other hand, wants milestone data. We have done quite a bit before getting the anomaly. We're fixing to get hooked up here really fat with some nanites. Make sure you talk to Nada first so you don't have to go out and get any planetary discoveries or milestone discoveries to finish your anomaly quest, or it's dumb. Oh yeah, there's an appearance modifier here on the anomaly. I might as well, make myself look awesome now. Bow chicken, wow wow. Watch out, ladies. The blue and yellow stud is back in town. Now that we look like alpha male space meats, let's head over there and talk to Nada as well as Polo. This is, where I'm going to find out where I totally screwed the pooch and I should have talked to them first. But, I'll wrap up this quest line later. Eventually, you're going to make it to this back room here. This is where we're going to buy a bunch of technology. But first, we're going to head over here to the exosuit upgrade bay and grab ourselves another slot. I think I'm going to be putting it in the technology so I can stuff my shield in there. That'll be perfect. Cha-ching! Head over to the construction research station. We're not really interested in purchasing anything on this page or the next. It's money time! So we're basically going to be purchasing the medium refiner as well as the large refiner. That's our priorities here at this terminal right now. The medium refiner and the large refiner cost 10 of those buried technology modules, so make sure you have plenty. I'm going to snag up a couple more things before I head out back to the base. You want to talk to Celine. Once you get here, you're kind of forced into buying the gauntlet because mostly we want the personal refiner. That's under the gauntlet, so yeah, gotta purchase both of them. If you run back towards Nada, there will be a teleporter to your right hand side. Take it. First, you'll want to place down 3 medium refineries in your small little base. Now, they do have a range limit, so you can only have 3 in a certain area, so if you want more, you just have to build a little ways away. Time to place 2 large refineries. They're just like the medium ones, although you can only have 2 within a certain amount of an area, so if you want more, you just have to build a little ways away. Now, I don't have enough chromatic metals, so I'll have to get that sorted. Luckily, I still have a little bit of that copper left over from when I showed you how to mine that stuff up, thinking I wouldn't need it, but now I do. So awesome. We'll get that chromatic metal sorted, and while we do that, I think I'll show you why I kept that salt that I was getting as a secondary element drop on that first planet. We're actually going to turn that salt into chlorine, which is worth a hell of a lot more than salt, just by expanding it with oxygen. If you can, try to get your hands on a couple pieces of salt, then you can do this as well. In the next refiners, we're going to be basically doing the same thing, but with cobalt. We're going to turn the cobalt into ionized cobalt by mixing it with oxygen. So now you understand why I was constantly harping on buying oxygen whenever you find it in the endurance patch. It's because of this moment right here, the very first moment we start to become space bajillionaires. So yeah, I only built 5 refineries, so I've basically just been fiddle farting around here waiting for all this stuff to get done. Like, if you want to get this done sooner, definitely build more refineries because it'll help you. At this point, I am pretty much about out of oxygen. I've got a little bit left, so we'll make some more ionized cobalt in this batch. This one over here, I'm probably out of oxygen. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move the ionized cobalt back over there. Now we're going to start turning all the ionized cobalt right back into cobalt. Finally placing the last large refiner. You know, I could have got all this done sooner if I would have placed that earlier. All wrapped up and ready to make money, turned all that salt into chlorine, then turned all my cobalt into ionized cobalt, then right back into cobalt. Look how much we have now to sell. Hell yeah. Now make sure before you head out to complete your first sale, you have a little stash of cobalt as well as a little stash of chlorine left over, because you want to make sure when you come back with more oxygen, you're going to be able to start the process again. Time to hit up the space station of the system we're currently in. As soon as you get there, hit up the trading terminal. We're going to go over to the sell tab. We're going to sell all of our cobalt, every bit of it. Now we can sell that chlorine we made up for a big giant wad of space cheddar. You guessed it. Head over to the buy tab, buy up some oxygen. Chances are I'll be scrapping ships here in a little bit, so I will buy this cobalt back later. Our main goal now is to snag up all the damn oxygen we can possibly buy off these ship guys. Whenever you see these special metals like lemium on a sale price, buy it up. You will need a personal refiner in order to complete this step if you'd like to do it or not. I'm basically going to make about 600,000 units just by refining this into gold, then just reselling the gold to the ship guys. Let's quickly buy up all the oxygen, you know, of course. Now we're going to sell all this gold off. That was a quick 600k profit. Time to get my scrap on. Now I'll generally only scrap ships that are a B, A, or S class ship that I can get for a relatively cheap price. This ship falls under that category. C class ships have a really tiny chance to drop what is known as a starship augmentation, so that's why I don't bother with it. Don't forget to scrap the piece of technology in there that you can scrap. You'll get a bunch of chromatic metals, sodium, as well as wiring looms by the boatload. I know I've shown you this step before, but just claim the scrap on your ship, run over there to the NPC. You're going to be selling any of the modules that you get from scrapping the ship, then you're going to make a little tidy profit of nanites. I'm going to be doing this quite a bit while I'm trying to stock up on oxygen. Oh hell yeah, that ship gave us a starship augmentation. Scrapped a bunch of ships, scarfed up a whole bunch of oxygen, ultimately ran out of money. It is now time to start this process all over again. This time we're going to grow an even bigger pile of this daggone cobalt, as well as a whole crap load of chlorine once again. Although our main focus is to grow as much cobalt as we possibly can, pretty soon we're actually going to start making a boatload more money with that. Behind the scenes, I've been working on my base command unit quest, which actually gave me a free storage unit to put this extra cobalt into. Now I already have an extra stash of a little bit of chlorine in there. So yeah, about to head back up to a different space station to pawn off all this cobalt as well as the chlorine, then buy a whole bunch of oxygen once again and scrap ships. Oh, the joy. I hit up a Gex system this time. We're going to pawn off all that chlorine, we're going to pawn off all the cobalt, and then we're going to buy up oxygen. Of course, you've never heard me say buy oxygen before in this update. I'm sure you've never heard me say that. Been doing this for a little bit. It's time to go back. Back at my base again, we're going to grow a cobalt stash one more time. We will also be traveling to new systems pretty soon, so I'm going to make some warp cells. There we go. I'll make some more later. Yep, we can never have too much oxygen. We're actually starting to make a respectable amount of money with each cobalt sale. That's actually not too bad. Now, every 9,999 cobalt that you sell will crash the market by 10%. Since we crashed the market, we're actually able to buy this cobalt back at 49 per, which is totally and completely awesome. I'm now going to head back to the Korvac system where I originally sold my cobalt. I think I only crashed it down to like 10 or so percent, whatever. I'm going to sell the rest of this there and then buy it right back. Yeah, it looks like I crashed this to about 11%. That's not too bad. We'll go ahead and still sell all my cobalt here, then buy it right back up. We'll still make a decent profit. Gonna snag up the oxygen as well. because, for reasons. No, hell yeah, look at that solar ship. Oh, it's an A-class. I might actually snag this up. Now, I didn't show on camera a little while ago. I ran out of money and found an S-class exotic and couldn't afford to buy it. I think I'm going to snag this ship up right here. It's beautiful, matches my colors. First things first, we are going to come over here and actually buy cobalt this time. Since we have crashed the market past 80%, you might as well just stock up on cobalt while you're stocking up on oxygen. Let's make an offer on this lifeform ship. Now, when you negotiate the price, you'll have the ability to either just buy it outright, or you can actually get a little bit of a credit by exchanging the ship you currently have. Seeing as how I bought this little explorer ship about, 45 seconds ago, might as well just exchange it and get a store credit. An S-class exotic just flew in after I bought that ship. You guessed it, business first. Going to buy all the oxygen, going to buy all the cobalt. Now let's make an offer on this lifeform ship because we are most definitely going to buy it, even though it's about the damn ugliest S-class exotic I've ever purchased before. I mean, it got beat down by an entire ugly stick forest. I mean, look at its enormous fin. I threw up in my mouth a little. The focus of gravity, huh? Well, I think I got a better name for you, and since I always am partial to using cheddar, we're just going to call this Ugly Cheddar instead of Big Giant Turd Sandwich. Every single time I come to these space stations to drop off a load of cobalt or chlorine, I am always buying oxygen, and while I'm buying oxygen, I am always scrapping as many ships as possible. Thankfully, by the time I got Ugly Cheddar here, I was able to add a whole bunch of augmentations to my general slot as well as my technology slot. Got all those for free. Added some extra slots to our S-Class exotic. Now let's head over here to this vendor and see if we can actually buy any modules. Now, the positron module is by far my favorite module. The phase beam's okay, and the photon cannon's kind of meh, so I'm just going to stick with getting this positron module. Now, technically, if you buy the module, it's gone from the vendor list, but if you want to hop into your ship, then hop out creating a restore point, you can then reload your autosave, then that vendor will have that module back for sale again. Back at the vendor, just here to show you that you can purchase the exact same module again after you reload your autosave. And we'll buy one more. About to head out, I did notice that there is a big gun in the multi-tool cabinet, and why looky there, that is a max slot A-class multi-tool. We might as well snag it up. Now, we don't have to waste any of our units buying this. You can actually exchange your beginning multi-tool for this multi-tool absolutely for free. This happens every single time on your first tool. Let's get all these S-Class modules installed on my ship. Now, I don't even have the positron ejector built in my ship yet, so I'm just going to stuff all these S-Class upgrades into my technology slots. Time to hit up the anomaly for more upgrades, but first, let's upgrade another bag slot. I think I'll snag up a cargo slot this time. After that, hit up the synthesis laboratory. The very first purchase we're going to make is the Atlas Pass Volume 1. Hook up with the magnetic resonator, grab the solar mirror, buy the amino chamber, definitely get the microprocessor. You'll want the quantum computer. Last but not least, grab the hydraulic wiring. Now head over to Hyperion to buy some starship upgrades. You'll want to grab the efficient thrusters, the launch system recharger. Good. Hook up with the cadmium drive. Most definitely get the teleport receiver. The economy scanner is a must-have. The conflict scanner is kind of optional. Grab the instability drive. More shields is always a good thing. Before we head out, I'm going to get this terrain manipulator installed. And then finally, let's work on getting our ship upgraded. This is how building next to a trading post sure can come in clutch sometimes. Fast forward a few minutes into the future, that terminal spawned enough uranium to get my ship upgraded. It's like I know I said I wasn't going to come back here and refine any more cobalt. That was just a teeny tiny, insignificant little white lie. Really sorry about that. I'm just greedy and want to make more money. Well, I accidentally sold all my gold earlier. Just another example of why building next to a trading post is awesome. And with this last bit of gold, I dub thee Sir Ugly Cheddar, the ugliest space turd I have ever owned. Yeah, needless to say, we're totally sorted on cobalt now. Ship's ready for our first freighter encounter. We got a bunch of warp cells. We are good to go. Mostly so I can make some money. On your next warp jump, click on any system and then hit expand. From now on, when you mouse over any system, it'll actually show the economy status. From now on, we're only going to be visiting wealthy economies. All wealthy economy types are now listed on the screen for your convenience. That sound right there can mean only one thing. We are about to have our very first freighter encounter. Not totally worried. Got the positron locked and loaded, sir. Technically, we could land on the space station, just kind of hop out of our ship, hop back in it, and just fly right back out here. All these bad guys wouldn't be here. But you know, it kind of rips me off from the experience of scraping them off my space boots. And you know, you certainly wouldn't want to have that. It would rob my gaming experience of coming out here and being totally and completely overpowered to these poor NPCs. Like, they don't even stand a chance. Like, I'm basically Space Sean Murray to them. I mean, it's not my fault I have a totally upgraded ship in under 4 hours. If you feel like getting some kind of reward, you can head upstairs, talk to the captain. I do not recommend that you actually get the very first freighter, no matter what it is, even if it's an S-Class. This one's an A-Class, I mean, it's not too bad. Basically, you get your very first freighter for free, so it might as well be a capital ship. Instead of becoming his new boss, I'm gonna request payment instead. Hey bro, the hell's my money? Alright, seems like he's giving us a bunch of nanites and a bunch of gold. You're welcome, bro. After we land on the space station, pay special attention to the route I run. You're going to do that in every system you visit. Hop out of your ship, run over to the exosuit upgrade station. You guessed it, you're going to be upgrading a bag slot every single jump. If you play on survival or permadeath, make upgrading your cargo a priority. Check the exosuit NPC for any good modules, buy any S-Class shield or health modules. From there, we'll hit the ship upgrade vendor. There will always be some kind of nanite pod here for you to collect. Check out the ship upgrades vendor. You're mostly looking to upgrade your main weapon all the way. You definitely want a hyperdrive module and you want to get your shields upgraded. Technically, we wanted an S, but I'm still going to buy this anyway. Oops, almost forgot. Definitely upgrade your launch thrusters. Check the multi-tool cabinet in case there's an S-Class there. Don't worry about buying upgrades from that vendor. You can worry about that later after we upgrade our S-Class multi-tool. Grab up all of these encrypted datas here. There's more over there. Head back to this back room. We're going to check the trading terminal. If you're playing survival or permadeath, you want to use all the cobalt and chlorine money to buy a bunch of wiring looms, then you would be selling those to crash the economy instead of this cobalt here. I swear I won't refine anymore. Got that A-Class hyperdrive module installed on there. That's going to give us a little bit better jump range. Also installed a bunch of the thruster upgrades. Eventually I get these thrusters upgraded all the way and it's totally free to take off. Our other goal is to find travelers, so let's head over to the other side. We're now on the side with the teleporter and looky there, there's a traveler. I skipped his first question because it does have a little bit of game lore and I didn't want to ruin that for you. The second question, just fork out the 100 nanites in order to get his grave location. Whether you find a traveler or not, head over to the space anomaly and upgrade a bag slot. If you happen to find a traveler, now is the time to head to his unknown grave location. Once you get there, just land as close as you can to his grave marker, hop out, run over there. You're going to have a little bit of dialogue. Can't quite remember if there's storyline. I think there is, so I'll skip it. We now have one of 16 glyphs. Now we are going to do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Yeah, I think you get the idea. Been making some money, been scrapping some ships, making some nanites. Now it's time to apply some more augmentations to my ship to upgrade that even more. Ugly Cheddar is basically a pimp sauce at this point. I just purchased and installed 3 S-Class modules for my hyperdrive, my pulse engine, and my shields. Oh look, we found another traveler. Fast forward to the part where I just upgraded all of my general slots on the space station. I have all my technology done as well. Time to upgrade a cargo slot. Just sitting here minding my own business, making space cheddar, and then this sound happened. That sound can mean only one thing. It means that an S-Class exotic ship just landed, so I need to get my butt on out there so I can either purchase it up or scrap it, whatever it's going to be. Ah, it's yellow. Definitely not scrapping that. We're going to be keeping this one. Give me a sec. I gotta pull out my little teeny tiny violin while I cry a whole bunch of tears to you travelers. About an hour and a half ago, I found that blue and red exotic ship that you saw at the very beginning of the video. I had so much footage to dig through. I mean, you know, I did record it because I record everything, but I guess I'm just far too lazy to go back and find it. So trust me, I bought it. Ancestral Marvel? Nah, we can do way better than that. Of course it's going to have some kind of cheddar in there. I guess it's going to be not ugly cheddar. Yeah, that totally and completely makes sense. Unfortunately, all of our cool upgrades are on ugly cheddar. Guess I'll catch you later, not ugly cheddar. Back to the grind, those cargo slots aren't going to upgrade themselves. Wow, are you serious? We are at our second freighter encounter? Now ain't nobody got time for fighting because we want to get this guaranteed S-Class as quick as we can. What you want to do is fly over to the space station, then land. As soon as you get here, just immediately hop out of your ship. This will create your restore point. Now you can just hop right back in your ship, fly out there, then we'll just land on the freighter and see what type of ship it is. Now there is a set of stairs or a teleporter that you can take all the way up to the captain to save yourself a little time, although there is a much faster way at being able to tell if these freighters are an S-Class or not. Instead of all that running around, just pull out your analysis visor, scan the deck, and you'll be able to tell if it's an S-Class or not. Unfortunately, that was a B-Class, so we are going to reload our save. Lucky number 7. So on my 7th reload, there we go. There is my max slot S-Class freighter. As you can tell, I'm a little bit excited. Let's head upstairs via the teleporter and talk to our new slave. I mean captain. Sorry about that. He's not really my slave. Well, at least until I purchase this freighter, then it's going to be a whole bunch of whipping him and get to work, you daggone bum. Hurry up and do your daggone job. How's it going, sir? I'd like to inquire about buying your freighter. Yeah, and since it's our very first freighter, we get that for free. Cha-ching. Seriously, I'm getting sick and tired of your excuses, Perline. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and build a super awesome base on this as soon as I get all of my cargo slots upgraded. Shut up, Perline. I know I need to get my 9 glyphs as well. I'll do that and then we'll build the damn base. Oh, Ultimate Cheddar, I totally love thee. Hey, are you doing anything on Friday night? You know, asking for a friend. Once I get about halfway through upgrading the rest of my bag slots, in this case it's the cargo slot, I actually start buying everything up. All the elements, all the ferrite dust, all the oxygen, all the sodium. Then I go and check all the other elements that are on this terminal. I'm gonna buy all the chromatic metal. Gonna use that pyrite here in just a little bit. Gonna buy all the pure ferrite, you guessed it, gonna buy the platinum. We basically buy everything. Then I go to the terminal on the other side of the space station and do the exact same thing. We're gonna buy all the elements. And as you can see in my cargo, the stash is starting to grow. Finally, we have all of our slots completely and totally upgraded. Here it comes, wait for it, the bro nod of accomplishment. Wow, what mighty big eye stalks you have. And just like that, we have all 16 of our glyphs. We're basically done making money for now. I just need to find a place to stash all this cobalt, so I think I'm just going to stuff it in those 2 exotic ships that I'm not really using right now because Flying Space Turd basically has all the upgrades. Now that we have all 16 glyphs, it's now time to hit up this cartographer over here so I can show you how to find a portal. After doing all those bag upgrades, you're going to have a boat ton of those navigation datas. You can use those to purchase the exact map you need, and it's the one that has the purple looking logo on it. You'll want to buy at least 5 of those alien charts. Now all I have to do is plot the route, just like before. It will give you the location of where you need to go. The alien artifact is not the droids we're looking for, so it doesn't really matter how you answer the question. Basically, as soon as we know where the heck we're supposed to go, we're going to skip it and then plot another route. If you want to go on a treasure hunt, you can find out what that historical data is all about. Basically, it's just digging up things with the terrain manipulator. So I probably wasn't doing it right. Let me hold my mouth open and to the side a little bit and kind of look stupid. There we go. That is exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for an alien monolith. After you read all the words, because you know knowing's half the battle, come over here and interact with the monolith. If you answer the first question right, then you're good to go. If you totally screwed the pooch, then you need to reload your save right now. If you do this in a Korvac system, you will need the casing in order to continue. If you do it in a Vy'keen, you're going to need the dagger. And I believe for the Gek, you're going to need the Gek relic. You can buy any of those items from either a trading post or from the little ship guys on your freighter. I quickly made a little mini base exactly like our starter base that you've already seen. Now let's get this portal completely and totally charged up so we can use it and get that awesome multi-tool. Before you charge up your portal, just make sure you have some carbon, sodium, dihydrogen, or some form of cobalt, as well as copper. There is a way to activate this portal by using a bug. However, that's cheating, son. That's cheating. Once this portal is activated, it'll stay activated. You can go anywhere you want. Considering I want to get a cheddar maker right now and I have all 16 glyphs, might as well activate the portal. If you want to get a cheddar maker of your very own, here's the address. The very last one is going to be the triangle, so if you want to go get it, pause the video now. Dun, 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 dun. Before you step through the event horizon, make sure to create a manual save point. Da-na-na-na, this is definitely Stargate, No Man's Sky ripped them off. This multi-tool is going to be super easy for you to find. Now, as soon as you get here, you're just going to hop into your ship, fly straight up into the air. Once you get into the atmosphere, just kind of look around until you see Paradise Farms right next to a comms ball. You're going to fly to that comms ball. That's where the S-Class multi-tool is going to be. I'm not going to do any cuts so you can see me fly directly there. I do have the footage sped up, and if you couldn't tell that by now, well, you're hammered and you're up late at night watching YouTube videos. Yep, really can't miss this place. Comm balls all over the place, a bunch of bank vaults up on the hill. Definitely think it's here, definitely think it's here. My precious. Oh my god, I can't wait to get my grubby little Viking mitts all over the obedience of matter. This is a glorious gun and it already comes with the scatter blaster. How win? It's like, oh geez, I'm not sure what to do. Either buy it for 7.5 million units or just exchange my cheap one. It was at this moment where I realized I had the largest manhood in No Man's Sky. I found this multi-tool on the No Man's Sky Coordinate Exchange. Link will be down in the description. There are also hundreds of other S-Class multi-tools if you'd like to get one of those. Although I highly recommend you get a cheddar maker of your very own. I mean, it's got a bunch of big giant pink spikes coming out of it. I mean, it basically screams space pimp, I'm starting to prep for building our freighter base. Now, you can either come and get these materials either here at a trading post or you can buy them from your freighter from the little ship guys that land there. It will be far faster for you to just go to one of those locations and buy all the plant matter that you're going to need instead of going out to all the planets, trying to track them down in the right atmospheres and then picking them with the gauntlet. So yeah, way easier to do it this way. That way you can start building your farms way faster. There we go, snagged up all the plant matter I'm going to need to build those plant farms on my freighter base. We're good to go. At this point, we have everything I need to build a super awesome base on our freighter, with the exception of one thing. We need to farm at least 12 salvage frigate modules. Salvage frigate modules are super easy to farm up. You can get a whole bunch of them relatively quickly, as long as you don't mind making enemies with one of the 3 alien races. Main thing you want to look for when you're choosing one of these systems, choose a system that spawns these freighters that have all the balls on the side of them. You get so many more chances to get the actual salvage frigate modules with these balls freighters because they have so many drop chances. Here's another one of the freighters I like to farm. It actually has 12 drops. They're all packed really super close together. I've actually gotten quite a few of these salvage frigate modules from this style of freighter. And why looky there, there's another one right there. Once you buck down all those freighter pods or completely load up on loot, you can land on your nearest space station, then sell everything there. You seriously can make a whole boatload of space cheddar by being a pirate in No Man's Sky. Now don't worry about ruining your faction, it's super easy to fix. All you have to do is give the race-specific relic to the actual aliens, and each one of those relics will raise your rank by 1, so don't worry about it seriously. Just go buck them down, get your salvage frigate modules really super easy, and then move on with your life. Just like I said a little while ago, you want to do this until you get about 12 salvage frigate modules. Head over to your freighter, click on the upgrade control. We are going to be clicking on base parts and upgrades. I'll probably buy that frigate fuel here in a little bit. I just want to make sure I have enough of these salvage frigate modules to buy everything that I want first. You might as well grab up the orbital exocraft materializer, nab up the stellar extractor room, the industrial room expansion, the nutrition room, the double cultivation chamber, the scanner room, The technology room expansion. The teleport chamber is totally glorious. The freighter glass corridor so you can view the stars. I'm going to come over here and buy the blue color for my freighter. I'm also going to piss away another 5,000 for the yellow. Might as well get the frigate fuel now. Going to grab the reinforced window for more stargazing. And since everyone hates ladders, I'll just buy one of those too. Believe me, there are plenty more upgrades you can buy for your freighter, but the ones I showed you besides the ladder are the ones you really need to get started. Since I wasted 10,000 nanites, I might as well come over here to customize appearance and then change the color of my freighter. Ultimately, I just wanted to get a Super Star Destroyer style of the freighter and change it to a blue and yellow color if I didn't just magically find one the way I wanted it. Of course I wouldn't, so that's how they get you for the 10,000 nanites. Time to start building the base. Let's check out the back room. Alright, cool. They actually have Gravitino balls back here. That's pretty awesome. That's new to me. Oh, and they even have this really cute guy. We have to get rid of him because Viking don't like cute things. The very first thing you're going to want to build is the Galactic Trade Room. Of course, you know, you have a terminal that you can buy things from. It just makes it really handy. I'm going to put it right next to dead meat. I mean the guy we're fixing to get rid of here in a second. And by getting rid of, I mean, you know, put him on a nice piece of toast and eat him for breakfast. Now see, you can buy a whole bunch of crap here. And I almost bought oxygen. I actually might buy oxygen. The hell with it, I'm buying oxygen. I will now make the teleport room. This is an absolutely awesome quality of life upgrade that came with the endurance patch. Before we had to kind of bug these in, you couldn't really teleport to your freighter, you can only leave. At this point, I'm going to delete all these other rooms and everything inside of it. It'll give me the credit for what the stuff was worth to build it when we destroy it. So I'm just going to get all this stuff back and then build it how I want it. For now, I'm going to build 2 storage rooms. In a little bit, I'll probably add the rest of them on there into one long hallway. It'll be like Chariots of Fire, running all the way down to the end and then coming back. Definitely loving the new changes to refineries on the freighters. Like before, you can only build a certain amount, a small amount, like 2 of them within a little area. You'd have to spread them out really far. Now you can just jam pack them all together. I'm going to build at least 10 of these. Heck, I could probably eventually build 100 of them and still not have enough. Oh well, I guess I should have built my stellar extractors first so that all my refineries would be closer to my farms. Oh well, I guess I'll be slightly less lazier because I'll have to take, I don't know, 15 extra steps. Seems I don't know how to count because I only made 2 rows of 4, so let's get that sorted really quick and move forward. Let's throw a couple corridors down, then we'll be able to start working on our farms. I'm not even kidding, I'm absolutely loving the endurance update. These cultivation chambers look so much more glorious than when we used to use those hydroponic trays everywhere. I'm totally serious, like if we can't build these down on a base on a planet, then I probably won't even bother building a farm on a planet just because of how cool these look. The other thing I absolutely love about this update is all these NPCs just kind of strolling around like they own the place, like they're doing things. That really makes the game feel alive to me. Until I realize they're all fake and, you know, they're not really people. It's that awkward moment when he realized he should have ringed his entire farm network here with a bunch of refineries. I might as well build a construction specialist room. I'm going to stuff it right here by the portal. Now we can hire an overseer to start our main base quest. I guess now is as good a time as any to build my 6 fleet command rooms. Eventually I'll have a big massive army of frigates and I'm going to want to send them out on a whole bunch of missions, so the more the merrier. We'll build the orbital exocraft materializer over here by the scanner. Wait a second, did I even show myself building the scanner? There we go, that's the last storage container. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. You know, I'll probably never really use this room because ain't nobody got the patience to stuff a whole bunch of meat down some fat guy's mouth. I have no idea how I was able to say that line without puking my guts out from laughing, so make sure you save your progress at this point. Remember when I said buy all the elements? Well, now we have everything we need to make even more plant material. Cactus flesh and pyrite will make more cactus flesh. Mixing selenium and phosphorus together will give you more selenium. Gamma root and uranium will make more gamma root. Fungal mold and ammonia makes more fungal mold. Star bulb and paraffinium makes more star bulb. Frost crystal with some dioxide will give you some more frost crystal. Facium alone can be turned into mordite, or you can mix facium with oxygen to create even more facium. It's actually animal poop that you've been storing in your bag and you touched with your hands. Go wash your hands. Once you get enough ACM going, this is totally not enough, but you can turn it into Mordite. You know, like I said just a few seconds ago. Some people think you need a whole bunch of farms, like tons upon tons of plants, but you don't really. You just need to have a few plants so you can convert with your refiners into even more plant material. It's totally awesome. Just a little while ago, it was literally that awkward moment when I tried to plant some of my plants and realized, well, I don't even have enough buried technology and I haven't even bought the plant schematics yet, so yeah, had to go out and farm buried technology. Going to grab the Roamer, the Colossus, the Pilgrim, the hydroponic tray only because we have to. Basically just, buy all the plants. And if you want, piss away some of those salvaged data on the hydroponic trays. Buy the cloaking device if you want to hide your wires so they don't crap up your base as much. I just need to find an angle to blame my captain for this oversight, because it was his fault. Let's get down to business. We ain't got no time to play around. What is this? Seeing as how we have 8 rows of 10, that's a total of 80 plants. I think I'm going to plant my frostwort here. It's going to take up 2 rows of 5. I might actually plant more of this frostwort later. Just depends on how much room we have left. Next, we'll plant 2 rows of 5 worth of gamma weed. You can never have too much weed. Let's plant some fungal clusters. You guessed it. We're going to be planting 10 of these as well. Let's plant 10 of these Mordite root plants. Now anything that's made from poop's gonna stink and it's supposed to smell like rotten flesh. I guess we'll plant some gut rot flowers since we have to. I don't know how you grow flowers from actual turds. Really hoping these star brambles are gonna help cover up all the poop and rotten flesh smell that's going on around here. Let's get these cactus in now. They take forever in the month of Sundays to actually grow, so never run out. Solar vine also takes forever to grow, just like the cactus flesh, so make sure you have extra on hand. I grossly underestimated how many of these rooms I'd need to make based off of how many plants I actually wanted to plant, so we're going to make these rooms, then we're going to make some hallways to connect everything. Considering there were gravitano balls in here to begin with when we bought this freighter, might as well plant them in here again. I'll be building a lot of bases on plants here in the future, so I might as well have some extra glass, even though we can make more, because it's easy to do it. This moment right here, travelers, is what it feels like to have a sense of accomplishment. In less than 12 and a half hours from a fresh save, I shot all of the footage in this best start to hopefully help you with your gameplay. Trust me, as much as I've shown you in this best start guide, you have only barely scratched the surface once you've gotten to this point. There is so much left to do, so much left to discover. The only thing that I did for you was help you get to this point and be a supercharged character. If you could like and share this video with your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now go out there, traveler, create a fresh save, upgrade all of your bag slots, get all the technology, buy yourself multiple S-Class ships, even if they're totally and completely ugly. Do yourself a favor, get a cheddar maker of your very own. Everyone should be able to easily get themselves a guaranteed S-Class freighter. Now you know how. If you followed this guide, you'll have all kinds of space cheddar and know how to make all the nanites you'll ever need. Basically, the only thing you have left to do is subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any more future updates on No Man's Sky Endurance. Thank you for your time today. I'll catch you later. Peace.